everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia Leigh. I'm an indie author and freelance editor, and today we have a slightly different filming location. It is officially fall. It is officially October, and my mom came over and she helped me decorate my fireplace, and I'm just so proud of it. I felt like I had to film a video here. With that being said, happy fall, my friends, happy October, and happy Preptober, because to anybody who celebrates NaNoWriMo in November, and I just have to say, NaNoWriMo is probably like a holiday to me now. It's like my favorite holiday of the year, my favorite time of the year. So happy Preptober to you as well. We all know why you are here, and that is for the 2020 Preptober Workbook. And one other thing I want to mention before we get started talking all about the 2020 Preptober Workbook is that today's video is being kindly sponsored by Campfire Blaze. This is a fun new program. Oh my gosh, Tifa is being so loud. Anyway, it's a fun new program. The beta just launched today, October 1st. It officially comes out November 1st. We are going to talk about that a little bit later, but Campfire, thank you so much for working with me again on this video. All right, now let's hop right into talking about the 2020 Preptober Workbook. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to give you like a little look at some of the pages. There are some changes in the 2020 Preptober Workbook. Some pages have been removed or altered. Some pages I'm bringing back that are just like really good solid foundation pages, like the basics of your good book. I bring that page back every single year because even I, like knowing what that page means, I continually go back to that page because I continually need new and fresh ideas. And I love using that page to figure out, okay, what stories do I really enjoy and what stories do I really want to tell? So there will be some pages that are the same in this book, but there are some pages that are totally different. There are some pages that I have updated so that they work better. So you don't have to get the new one if you don't want to, but if you do want to get the 2020 workbook, just know it is different on the inside. There are over 50 pages in this one, and that does not include like a bunch of blank pages that I am going to include in the back of the workbook for additional brainstorming pages, outlining pages, story webs, all kinds of stuff. So that does not include the additional blank pages that are going in the back of the workbook. So with that being said, let me show you a few of the pages that are in this year's 2020 Preptober Workbook. Okay, one of my favorite pages from last year's workbook that I decided to edit and bring back was the word sprint tracker page. And oh man, when I show you these pages, my face is gonna turn all kinds of different colors because it's so white. So this year's, I actually put in like a whole table system, because in last year's Preptober Workbook, there was a page for word sprints, but there weren't very like distinct lines, and it was easy to get kind of confused. So with this year's workbook, you can see that there are individual boxes for every single sprint, and I want to say there are, I think, 60 spots here. I don't want to count them right now, that would take too long, but I'm pretty sure there are 60 boxes here for 60 different word sprints. If you're not somebody who has tried word sprints, I highly recommend them. Word sprints are my favorite way to get a ton of words on the page, because you're writing with other people, you're writing in a like short window of time. And for me, who has like a competitive personality, I just love word sprints. They really help me, especially during NaNoWriMo. So of course, I brought the word sprint tracker back. All right, another page I'm bringing back that has been updated is the live stream tracker. For NaNoWriMo, there are live streams galore on YouTube. And I know people host like writing sprints on other platforms, whether that be like Twitter or Instagram or wherever people are hosting them. I did bring back the live stream tracker, and I put it upon myself to go ahead and put in the dates and times of the live streams that Brooke, Mandy, and I are hosting this year. So those are already in there. And then of course there's a lot of space for you to write down the date, time, and channel of all the other live streams that you want to attend, because I know even if you turn on the little bell notification on YouTube, it can be really easy to miss live streams. For some reason, I do not get notifications nearly as often as I should. So this should be really helpful because it will tell you exactly the date and time and channel of every single live stream that you want to be able to attend during NaNoWriMo. All right, here is a fun page. I did have a goal setting page in the previous workbook, and I went ahead and edited it and made quite a few changes to the goals page. So now we have a goals page. I talk about how, setting goals works for me, my experience with it. And then there's like a little example up here. So there's a checkbox because I love checking things off. I am a bullet journaler at heart, and I will always like to check things off. So there are little boxes for you to check off. This is the big spot to write down the main goal or the dream you have, anything that is going to take multiple steps to achieve. And then over here on the right side, you can write down 3 smaller steps, 3 smaller goals, like 3 small things that you can do to help you achieve that larger goal. So it's like setting your big goal and then breaking it down into 3 smaller ones, because I always find, I've said before, telling yourself, I'm going to write a book, or, it's my goal to write a book, that's one thing, but that's a really big goal to have. So if your goal is, I'm going to write 50,000 words during NaNoWriMo, that's my goal, it's going to be really, really helpful if you actually break that goal into smaller chunks. So, it's my goal to write 50,000 words in November. Your 3 small steps could be write 5 days a week, establish a healthy writing routine, and take time off when I need to. You take that big goal, you break it down into smaller chunks, smaller pieces, what is Tifa doing, and then you can achieve it more easily. I have to take Tifa outside because he's like a dog now. He has to go outside to pee. I will be right back. Okay, I just got back in from taking Tifa outside. He went potty. I just tried to feed him. He's still crying at me. So you might hear Tifa talking in the background. That's just what Tifa does. Let me show you a couple more pages, and then I'm going to tell you about Campfire Blaze, and I'm going to tell you how you can get your very own 2020 Preptober Workbook. All right, so I just showed you the goals page. Yes, Tifa, that's true. Okay, a new one that I put in, and this is different from last year. In last year's workbook, I did encourage writers to build like a healthy and realistic writing routine and writing schedule for themselves. So this year, not only do I have a page about writing routines where you can answer questions for yourself like how often do you want to write, what time of day are you most creative, what time of day do you go to bed during the week, when do you go to bed during the weekend, what would you be willing to give up to make time for writing? And on here I said, Netflix, because that's what I need to be able to give up, seriously. Netflix. So not only is there a page to actually get, to prompt you to dig deeper into how much time do you actually have and how much time do you waste. Waste isn't a great word to use, but how much time do you spend on other things that aren't writing when you really want to be pursuing your writing? So after you dig into these questions, then you turn the page and you have my writing schedule. And I'm actually really excited to use this myself, because if you guys have been watching my videos, you will know that I am struggling right now with full-time work and my own creative projects. It's like I don't know how to focus on my creative projects while I have full-time work. So I think this page is going to be really helpful. There are 5 boxes along the top. You can see those 5 little boxes, and each of those, what you would do is color that in with a marker or a colored pencil, and essentially you're going to color code your day. So I might say, one color might be sleeping, one color might be, relaxing, and relaxing, that could be Netflix, that could be enjoying a cup of coffee in the morning, that could be, a weekend afternoon that I don't want to have to work on anything. So maybe sleeping, relaxing, YouTube, writing, and, editorial work. So maybe I have those 5 colors that I've color coded along the top, and then we have Sunday through Saturday, and literally I put all the times of day. I am always sleeping at 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. I'm always sleeping during that time, so that for me, I will just color all those boxes in with my sleeping. But I know that some other people are night owls. They like to be up at 1 or 2 or 3 a.m. working on their projects. So I made sure to put all the hours on here. I don't want to leave you night owls out. I am more of a morning person, so of course I get active around 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, but this has all 24 hours of the day, 7 days a week, so you can really use this color-coded system to take a look. You're going to answer your questions and really dig deep into what time do you actually have and how much time do you actually want to spend on your project. mostly during NaNoWriMo, but you can use this at any time of year. And then you can actually color code your week. So you can look at it and say, all right, you know, every Sunday from 7 to 10 o'clock, I have free time. So I can, you know, have my cup of coffee or my cup of tea. I can, you know, turn on cartoons in the morning for my kids, and I could just work on my book or whatever that is for you, whatever your schedule is. I think this will really help with the little color coding system. Just take a quick peek at your week and know when you actually have time to write, because I know many of us are like, I'm gonna write 7 days a week and I'm gonna write 80,000 words in a month. But honestly, like, how many of us have time for that? So be realistic with yourself when you are answering these questions and when you're filling out your writing schedule so that you know how much time you actually have to commit to a writing project. Of course, we have the basics of your good book page. I'm gonna bring that back every single year because it's such a great foundation page. What else do we have in here? Okay, so this is a new page I added this year, and keep in mind, this is just like the proof copy, so there are like more design elements generally throughout the workbook, but I included a build your villain page. This was actually a request from somebody on my newsletter. About a month or so ago, I sent out an email blast to everybody on my newsletter letting them know, hey, I'm working on the Preptober Workbook, and if you have any requests, send them in. And this page, all about building a villain, was one of those requests, and I am so glad this was a request. I actually have a video all about building villains, developing a really good, strong villain. That will be linked down below if you haven't watched it yet. I think villains are awesome. I absolutely love a well-written villain, and unfortunately, I think villains most of the time lack development because people really like to focus on the good guy. They like to focus on their main character and the hero of the story, and because of that, the villain often just becomes this bad guy who wants to kill everybody and take over the world, but we don't know why. We have no idea why this villain wants to do such horrendous things, why they have these goals. Heck, we might not even know what their true goals are. We might not even know what they really want or what they really fear. And I think that's a big problem in fiction. I want to see villains who are complex, they're well developed, they have fears, they have things that they enjoy doing, they have hobbies, maybe they play Scrabble, maybe they like to read the newspaper every morning, who knows? That's the thing, is that I want to see villains that are actually developed. And these pages, there are 2 pages with questions about your villain, such as, who is your villain? What are their hobbies, their quirks, and their joys? Because villains have joys too. They're not just these evil, terrible, bad guys who never smile and never do anything fun. They actually live a life outside of, you know, antagonizing your main character. What does your villain want and why? This is a big one, and it's the same with developing your main character. Your main character needs to want something, and there needs to be a reason why they want that thing, and your villain needs that as well. What else is on here? What will happen if your villain doesn't get what they want? Same thing, stakes, right? But it's kind of flipped. So your main character, Tifa, is very passionate about this, aren't you? Okay, I fed Tifa yet again, so hopefully we'll be able to continue without any further distractions or interruptions. Okay, so this year I also included a page about a story Bible or a series Bible, which is something that I have for Pistol Daisy that has been life-saving. Like, I can't tell you how important it has been to me to maintain my series Bible, because as I've been writing Whiskey City, I don't have to go back to Pistol Daisy and reread it to figure out the details that I'm trying to work with. I do have a page about story Bibles and series Bibles, and of course there are a lot of different ways for you to create a series Bible. I personally use Campfire Pro. I do have a video about it. That will be linked down below as well, so you can see, not my Pistol Daisy one, but you can see my Song of the Dryad one that I was building, and I'm still building on my Song of the Dryad one as well. And I use Campfire Pro for that, but like I said, today's video is being sponsored by Campfire, but specifically Campfire Blaze. So this is totally new. This is something that they just came out with, and it is 100% free for the month of October. It's kind of like in its beta version, beta mode. So if you want to try this, I highly recommend you try it in the month of October so that you can see if it's something that's going to work for you. It's not going to cost you anything. It's going to be a lot of fun. Campfire Blaze, let me tell you a little bit about it. So Campfire Blaze includes a word processor so you can actually write your story in Campfire Blaze if you really want to. It has character sheets, timelines, locations, maps, relationships, character arcs, and encyclopedia magic, a bunch of stuff. Like if you are building a magical world, if you are working on a sci-fi or fantasy, this program is for you. It has made a huge difference for me as well in terms of Song of the Dryad. So you can actually build your own subscription to Campfire Blaze, which is different than Campfire Pro. And you can build your subscription for as few as 50 cents or a few dollars a month. So it is really affordable and you just pay for what you actually use. So you can purchase each module for a one-time fee if you want to own it forever, or like I said, you can build a subscription for just a little bit at a time. And remember that you can try out all of the features with the free version, totally free during October. It's the beta. Definitely try it out. I am going to be using it this October as well, and I'm really excited about it because it looks freaking amazing. I haven't used it yet, but I am definitely going to. The link is in the description if you are interested. Again, and the reason that I was talking about the story/series Bible is because I do use Campfire for my series Bible. Like I said, it has been a lifesaver. So Campfire, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. And to you writers out there, if you want to go with a different method, I guess, of creating a story or a series Bible, you can totally do that. If you want to just write it in a Word document or print it out and put it in a folder, you can definitely do that. But if you are looking for more like dependability, if you are looking for something that has a lot of bells and whistles and you can do a lot with it, then definitely try out either Campfire Pro and or Campfire Blaze. I highly recommend them. So like I said, there are over 50 pages in this workbook. It's bigger than last year. I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to your survival kit. And this workbook, if you are new around here and have never received it before, it is 100% donation based. I did not want to put a price on this because I don't want to block anyone out. You know, I don't want to say this is what it's worth, and if you can't afford that, sucks for you. I don't want to say that. So this workbook is totally 100% donation based. You simply send me what you think it's worth to you and what you know that you can afford, and then I will turn around and send this workbook to you in an email. Now, I have tried to think of different ways to automate this, but there's not really a good way to do it. What I do is I receive a donation from you. You put your little email in the note box because people always forget to do this. And I have people every single year who forget to give me their email. And then, you know, their PayPal email doesn't work for some reason. And then I can never get in touch with them because I have no idea what email to send it to. So make sure to put your email in the little note box when you send the donation. And there are warnings and reminders on the website as well, because that is the biggest problem I have with this every single year. So please make sure to put a working email. Spell check it, because a lot of people spell their emails wrong. It just happens. We type fast. Spell check it, make sure it's the right email, and put that in the note box before you send the donation. Anyway, so I get the donation, I get your email, I take your email, I compose a new email, I type you a little note, I attach the workbook, and I send it. So it's very much by hand, very hands-on. So there are already, you know, orders coming in for the workbook. I opened it for pre-order earlier this week, and today is Thursday. Today I am officially sending them out. So if you have already ordered one and you have not received it yet, I'm working on it. Just know that they are by hand. So, you know, at night when I'm sleeping, they won't be going out. Oh my gosh, there's Tifa again. Had lunch, so that was his happy after lunch song. Anyway, so it is all by hand. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I just sent my donation and it's been 1 hour and I haven't received my workbook, that's totally natural. That's normal because I have to send them all on my own. So I do want you to know that. To get the workbook, all you have to do is go to natalialeigh.com. It'll be linked for you down below, and click the tab up at the top that says Preptober Workbook. There will be information there about the Preptober Workbook, a couple of cute little mock-ups I made of it, and then there is a donation button. If you're on mobile, the donation button is at the bottom. If you are on a web browser, the donation button is on the right-hand side. You click that, you put in your donation, you put your working email in the notes box, and you send the donation, and then I will get this to you as soon as possible. I do send it in a PDF form. There are some links in the workbook this year, so if you open it in PDF and you're using it in PDF, you can click those links and they'll take you to fun little places. But my recommendation is to print it out. I printed out front and back on 8.5. I printed out front and back on 8.5 by 11 paper. That's what it was designed for. And I took mine, every year I like to get mine bound. So mine has this cute little cover. It can sometimes be reflective in the video, so I try not to put it on there, but mine has this nice little plastic cover on it, and then it has one on the back as well, so it just really protects it. And it's nice because if you're going to a coffee shop or you're going to meet up like with your writing group or anything like that, this isn't going to get as like damaged in a backpack or in like a carrying case if you have this on there. I think I went and I had this printed at FedEx, I think. Yeah, I went to FedEx and had this printed. And keep in mind, this has fewer pages than yours will because this was an earlier proof copy. So your copy will have additional pages in the end. So there will be more pages in yours, but mine was $19 to get printed. And of course, I chose color, which is a little more expensive. You can go with black and white. And of course, there will still be, little images and illustrations in there, but you can definitely print in black and white if you want it to be not quite as expensive when you're printing it out. And then you could just ask them to bind it. So it was about $20 to get it printed, $5 to get it bound. So this was $25 to have done altogether, but you don't have to go and have it bound. You can just print it off at home. Maybe do like 3-ring or a 3-hole punch. It's been a long time since I was in school and I used a 3-hole punch. Maybe use like a 3-hole punch and put it in a 3-ring binder, notebook, something like that. Anything works. It is your workbook and you can do whatever the heck you want with it. So 100% donation based. You can get it on my website at natalialeigh.com. Go to Preptober Workbook, send in a donation, put your email in the box, and you will get the PDF version of the 2020 Preptober Workbook. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I will try to get to them as soon as possible, but I plan to be spending a lot of my free time sending workbooks, emailing back and forth with anyone who has questions, anything like that. But you can always put your questions down there. And I really, really hope you're going to enjoy the Preptober Workbook this year. I hope you're going to join me for those live streams. I already put them on your live stream tracker, so you won't forget about them. So you can come join me and Brooke and Mandy for the 3 live streams we will be hosting during NaNoWriMo. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for celebrating another Preptober with me. I seriously cannot believe this is the 4th one. After filming this, I'm totally going to go watch my old Preptober Workbook video. So again, let me know if you're one of the originals who got the very first Preptober Workbook, because that would be really awesome. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. I am going to get back to editing, and I hope you are having a wonderful Thursday and have a wonderful Preptober. All right, bye everybody.